Before I start, I said the Minnesota Timberwolves will be blown out in Game 7. I said late second quarter, early third. And the funny thing about that, it almost played out just like that. They were actually about to get blown out in the second quarter and leading into the second half, which is the third quarter. Anthony Towns, I believe, hit a three in the corner. Mike Conley hit a big three during that stretch. I don't know if it was McDaniels or Conley. Hit a couple of layups right before the dam was about to crack. Denver Nuggets had control of this game, about to blow out the Timberwolves. Timberwolves kept fighting. And I'm going to rewind it all the way back, because I'm going to try to do a quick summary real quick. When this game first started, both teams, you could tell, was a little uptight. They had the energy, but they was missing their shots. They were missing layups. They were missing wide open threes. And I was like, this is a perfect opportunity for Minnesota to grab an early lead. They're playing the CHAMPS at home in their backyard. And you can get you a double-digit lead early if y'all settle down and start hitting some shots. Because you know, Game 7 in the playoffs, it's going to be a little bit of butterflies. Everybody's uptight. You just want to get those few baskets to go, and everything else can calm down. Both teams, they were kind of missing early. So the Minnesota Timberwolves had a chance to actually get control of this game in the first quarter. I mean, the first 2 to 3 minutes, if they'd have strung together some baskets. Because Denver at home, you would have thought they would have came out hitting on all cylinders, but they didn't. And then next thing you know, Denver strung together a basket or so. Now everything's settling down. Now Denver's starting to run off with this game. I was agitated pretty much the whole first half. And I know everybody's seen it. Anthony Edwards, he was on that stuff again. Passing the ball. Playing the team game in a Game 7. Wasn't being aggressive. And man, I was frustrated. I was very frustrated, because I'll say, if y'all going to go down and y'all going to lose, man, you're going to have to play aggressive. You got to put some shots up. You're going to have to do something. If you lose this game trying to get your teammates involved when you should be taking over, it's going to be a serious problem. You ain't got to worry about me. The media, everybody's going to come down crashing on you. You have to make a mark in this game. Well, he never did make a mark, but late he was able to string together a couple of baskets. He wasn't shooting the ball enough, and he wasn't scoring at a high radius, but he played defense. He did other things. And what an outstanding job he did on Jamal Murray in sequences, in spurts. He didn't shut him down. Murray still had a hell of a game. Well, he had 30 plus. Let me look at it here. I'm not going to put up the box sheet for y'all. I'm not going to bore you with that real quick. But let me see what Murray had. 35 points. He ended up with 35 points. So he didn't shut Murray down. But what he did, he didn't allow Murray to win the game for him. Crazy as that sounds, huh? He scored 35 points. You mean he didn't contribute to... Yeah, down the stretch, he wasn't hitting those clutch shots he usually hit. He didn't string together like 3 or 4 jump shots in the fourth quarter that could have propelled his team and maybe got him over the hump to actually win this Game 7. So big steal by Ant in the open court, going for that dunk was huge. He pressured him up a lot in this game. He was right there on his hip, making Murray think about it. Think about it a lot. So he got bailed out, just like the last game. He got bailed out by his teammates. McDaniels came through. Conley played well. He released a little stress off that valve. He was able to score some points. He was playing the floor general. But man, this was a game for the ages. Game 7. They defense the Joker almost as well as you could defend him. The defense they displayed in this game, it was nothing like game 2. It's hard to duplicate that. It was nothing like game 2. But man, it was smarts. They were in the right spots. They played with more brains on defense in this game. I would say it like that. In game 2, it was sporadic. They was running around with their hair on fire. They were just running all over active hands. It was just chaos almost the whole game with their defense. They were playing almost reckless, but it worked. In this game, they were more detailed on who had the ball, when the double team's coming, where you're going to rotate to. They were on top of it in this game. And the scoreboard shows that. 90 points for the Denver Nuggets. 90 points in a game 7. 98-90. Do that sound old school to you? It was defense played in this game. A lot of it. One point we thought Michael Porter Jr. was going to get loose and he's going to start getting it going, which he hit him a 3 or 2, but he never caught a rhythm to where he come down and hit, 4 or 5 threes throughout the game. But the ones he did hit, it kept, Denver in the game a little bit. Because without those threes, it could have got away from them. But I am surprised at the Champs at home a little bit. They kind of lost control. It almost seems like they didn't know what they were doing out there. When the Timberwolves was on their run, Denver couldn't even make no shots. They couldn't hit layups. They had wide open jump shots that they were missing. The best defense on Jokic tonight might have been by his head coach. Played him almost the whole game. That might be talked about. All but 1 minute? He only rested for 1 minute in his game 7. He was gassed and you could see it. Gutty performance by him. But the Joker was gassed. Late, 3 shots, driving to the lane, throwing up his little floaters. A couple of those rimmed out. A couple of threes he missed. It was all fatigue. He is human. I know it seems like he's a robot the way he's been playing. But yeah, they didn't buy no time at all for him on that bench. And in game 7, you kind of can't blame it. Can't blame Mike Malone on that one. Because he's thinking, we got to get this game. They were feeling the pressure. All the pressure was on Denver, like I stated before. Timberwolves, they're playing with house money. Yeah, they want to win it, but if they'd have lost it, wouldn't have been no surprise. Everybody expected Denver to win this game. And I predicted a blowout, so that ought to tell you something. And it was right on the brink of that until a 3 here, a 3 there, a couple of layups, kept it in that 15-20 range, and then they kind of dropped it down in the low teens and got themselves back in the game. But it is a shocker. It is a shocker. I didn't expect this. When they went down by 15 and went down by 20, I was like, that's it. Especially the way Ant was playing, not being aggressive, still passing to his teammates, expecting them to make the big plays. I was like, it's done with. They should have opened this thing up 25. They should have opened up to 30. Never happened. And they won this game by defense. It wasn't offense. Defense won this game for the Timberwolves. Outstanding performance. They had the Joker. They blitzed him enough. It was a couple of possessions where they didn't blitz him, and they started trying to play him straight up, had me a little frustrated there because he hit a big little lazy 3 when you should have been waiting on that to begin with, because all he was doing was standing on top of the perimeter, just, pump faking, and then he's just going to flip that wrist real lazy, and he drops it. So I wanted them to be expecting that, especially when the game is tight and you only up like 5-6 points. You don't want him hitting a 3 at that moment. You don't need to get the crowd back in the game. So paying attention to detail is very crucial in the fourth quarter when you're winding down 5-4 minutes. You can't let a great player just lull you to sleep and end up making a big play. So that frustrates you. A lot of things can frustrate you. Trust me. Because down in crunch time, you got to dot all your I's and cross all your T's. especially with superstar players. You can't leave no crack, no window open. And at that point, I didn't want the Joker to have anything easy, especially if the Timberwolves was planning on winning this game. First half, it didn't seem like they was coming to win this game. I didn't know what Ant was doing. I was very frustrated watching them play and pass the ball and not trying to beat the double team once again. Very frustrated. His team bailed him out tonight. He never really got it going. He was off from the field. See if I can get that back up here. Matter of fact, let me get my specs, man. See that a lot better. 6 for 24 from the field. The only thing I like about that is it wasn't 15 attempts. It wasn't 17 attempts. It was 24 attempts. Still a little smaller dosage than my liking. I would like that more closer to 30 and beyond. But 6 for 24, he was a little more active. He was putting up some more shots with the defense covering him. It looked like tough shots, but he was still putting them up. That's all we want him to do. But 2 for 10 from the three-point line. He got 8 rebounds. He had 7 assists. And you would think a guy that passes as much as he does, passing the buck, allowing the defense to dictate what he's going to do, you think he'll have more assists. And 2 steals and 16 points is what he ended up with. Do you know what kind of pressure this guy would have been under if they didn't pull it out and he had this kind of performance? It'd have been tough. But his teammates bailed him out. And I'm going to say this one thing. Because he trusted his teammates, and I'm going to tell you that there is a positive to that. I don't like it for him especially. But there is a positive to trusting your teammates the way he does and keep on passing it and trusting his teammates throughout the year in the regular season leading up to the playoffs, because what it does, it gives them the confidence. They're not surprised in big moments. When you do that all year long, trusting your teammates, giving them the shot, swinging the ball when they're open, when the moment presents itself, like in the playoffs, a game 7, in crunch time, 4 or 5 minutes left, they're not going to be afraid of the moment. They've been doing it all year. They're expecting the Ant-Man to pass them the ball when he's double teamed or when they're open. He's going to give them a chance, and he's been doing that. So that's how McDaniels can come up big in a game. That's how Reed can come up big in a game. These role players, they're not afraid of the moment. They've been doing it all year, and Ant-Man's been trusting them while he's been cooking. So like I say, it is a bonus to that, but at the same time, it can backfire. It can backfire. You don't want to be passing too much. You got to seize the moment. It has to be a balance. You got to know when to take over as a superstar. It's got to be a balance. And I just think he got real lucky tonight. He really did, because the Denver wasn't as sharp as they usually are at home. And I thought they was going to open this thing up, especially when they grabbed the lead pretty early in the first half. And they was able to string together a couple of plays. And like I say, stop that dam, because it was about to be a flood. They stopped it. And then the defense. Defense allowed them to get back into the game. That defense creates offense. And man, I'm just surprised and I am shocked just like everybody else, especially when they went up by 20 points. You pretty much can say this was over and it was done. But these young Wolves came back and fought. Didn't give up. Trusted their process. We're thinking they finna get blown out of the water. We saw they couldn't generate any offense. And in crucial moments, Ant-Man passing the ball. Like it was one play. One play he split the double team. And I'm sitting there like, look, you can do it. That's the play you have to make. And what do? Get to the free throw line. That's what's going to happen when you split a double team. They're going to foul you. Or you're going to get an and one. Or you're going to break free, get a dunk, uncontested. It's a lot of things going to happen when you play aggressive and you try to beat the double team. That's the only time I've seen him be aggressive and actually split the double team and get to the paint. He should have been doing that very early in this series. And he might get another chance against Dallas. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to be double teaming him as well.